Warning: the following podcast, which contains strong language and mature content, is unsuitable for children or for the faint of heart. The subject matter discussed will be frightening and graphic in nature. Listener discretion is advised.
When you wanna hear about the paranormal, you get the Spooked Girls. True crime that makes you hypothermal. With the three Spooked Girls, stabby snippets will give you dreams. Tara and Jessica will make you along with the Spooked Girls. Bring on the slaughter, we on that haunted ground. The three Spooked Girls.
Hey Spooksters, and welcome back to another Sunday Scaries here on Three Spooked Girls. My name is Tara, and as always, I'm here with my girlfriend Jessica.
Hello.
And today is the 8th and final part of our first limited series on Sunday Scaries. If you are new here, go check out parts 1 through 7, then come back to this one, because this first series has been a continuous story about staircases in the woods. And for those of you that are caught up, let's go ahead and dive on into this last part. This will be my final update for now. Things have deteriorated here to a degree that I didn't foresee. I didn't know how much writing about the things that are happening out here would affect every single part of my life, and maybe that was stupid of me. Maybe I should have considered it more seriously, but honestly, I just thought I was writing about things that a few people would want to hear. I didn't think it'd get this much attention. People ask me about the stairs now. It doesn't happen every day, but when it does happen, I never really know what to say. My bosses know someone is talking about them, and I'm sure that if they know, the higher-ups know. And I can tell you that they aren't happy about it. I've been formally told that I am not to speak a word about them to anyone anymore, which is part of the reason this has to be my final update. I can't risk my job for this. As much as it's been wonderful to get a lot of these things off my mind, I do still love my work, and I need to be out here. If anything, my being aware of what's really going on is enough reason to stick it out. I may not be able to tell people that they're out there, but if I see them, I can direct traffic away to somewhere safer. Because of the amount of attention the stories have gotten, I've heard a lot of stories being swapped back and forth. I've heard so many that I can't even remember most of them. The ones I do remember are the ones I wish I could forget. One story that's made its rounds here was about a young woman who disappeared upstate. Initially, everyone assumed that she was a runaway. She didn't come from a great home life, so it really wasn't any kind of surprise that she chose to cut out and run. But people started coming forward saying that they had seen her around the park shortly before she vanished. So some of the rangers in the area were sent out to make sure that she hadn't hung herself or something on any of the back trails. It took them a while, but they did find her. Well, not all of her, just half of her tongue and a quarter of the lower jaw. Very clean cuts from what I heard. They never found the rest of her. So many stories about children, so many of them going missing and turning up in caves, wedged in between impossibly tight spaces, so many of them found on mountain peaks or at the bottoms of sheer gullies, missing shoes, missing socks, or found with both in perfect condition despite them being miles and miles away from where they vanished. So many stories of black-eyed people wandering around the woods, calling out into the night, mimicking the sound of running water or a bobcat screaming. One man in particular goes to every news station he thinks will listen to him and tells the same story. He was deer hunting and had camped in a very remote area and woke up because something was scraping against his tent. He thought it was a raccoon or a fox until the thing pressed its face against the door of the tent, at which point he could very clearly make out a human nose and mouth. He kicked at it, but it leaped back and was gone by the time he opened the tent flap, gun at his side. He fired 2 warning shots, and when the sound had faded, he heard a snap behind him. A man was standing at the edge of the campsite. This man was not wearing any clothing, but he also didn't possess any kind of human flesh. As this hunter described it, the man was made of some kind of mix of raw meat and hair, as if someone had scooped up roadkill and molded it into the vague shape of a man. The face was lumpy and only a rough approximation of a human face. The thing opened its lopsided mouth, and from it came the sound of a gun the hunter had fired. It did this twice before mimicking the sound of the tent zipper and fleeing into the night. A young couple out for a hike in the rocky areas of my park reported to me yesterday that they had seen something strange out on a peak I'm very familiar with. They were taking turns looking through a pair of binoculars when a man had noticed a hiker climbing up a very steep part of the cliff face. He watched the man scale the slope, and it didn't occur to him that until the incident was over, that this person had no climbing gear. When the climber reached the top of the peak, which is about 5 miles away, they turned up and faced the young man. He said whoever, or whatever this person was looking right at them. The climber waved in an exaggerated manner before snapping in half at the waist, sideways, and leaping off the peak. The young man didn't see where the climber landed. I sent them on their way with reassurances that I'd check it out. I lied. I won't be turning in a report because there are 10 others exactly like it. The climber is well known in that area, and I don't question it anymore. There are so many things I won't be able to understand about my job, and it would take me years to relate all of the things I've heard in the last few months. When I feel like my job isn't in jeopardy, I'll come back. Maybe in a different format, but I will come back. Thank you all for sticking by my side and enjoying the things I've talked about. If you go out into the woods, I encourage you to be safe. Bring water, food, survival equipment. Let people know where you're going and when you'll be back. Don't go on uncharted paths unless you exactly know what you're doing. And above all, don't touch them, don't look at them, don't ever go up them. And that, y'all, is going to conclude our first limited series for Sunday Scaries. We hope that you enjoyed this. We had a lot of fun researching and putting this together and finding these stories. And we have some fun stuff planned for the future because we have loved being back here with you guys twice a week. So with that, we're going to go ahead and sign off, and we'll see you back here on Thursday. Bye, guys.
Toodles.